Welcome back to the Cyber Pulse. This is a weekly look at how cybersecurity work is changing across people, processes, and tools for builders, operators, and leaders in the industry. This episode focuses on the cybersecurity workforce and the pressure patterns showing up right now. From the outside, cybersecurity still looks like a stable career path. Job postings exist, security is still a priority, and AI is changing how work gets done. Inside the work, though, the experience feels more constrained. Roles are harder to land. Career moves take longer, expectations keep rising, but the clarity doesn't always follow. What I want to do today is walk through what's actually driving that feeling, using real workforce data and practitioner conversations. As always, links to my resources will be included in the description. The cybersecurity job market has tightened, and that shows up in very specific ways. Hiring still happens, but teams are hiring fewer people per role. Positions are scoped more narrowly. Experience requirements are more explicit. Employers are looking for people who can contribute quickly in a defined area, rather than broadly trainable generalists. One factor driving this shift is automation. AI and security logging are increasingly used to absorb work that used to justify additional headcount. Triage, enrichment, correlation, and even some response tasks. This doesn't eliminate jobs, but it changes how organizations justify hiring. The result is fewer entry points and more competition for each opening. For people early in their careers or trying to change domains within cybersecurity, this makes progress feel slower and less predictable. This also explains why many job seekers feel like they're doing everything right, gaining certifications, building labs, applying broadly, and still not seeing traction. The market has shifted towards precision hiring, not volume hiring. Early career professionals are experiencing this pressure most intensely. Dice's reporting shows that many graduates believe a lack of AI skills will directly hurt their earning potential. That belief isn't coming from nowhere. AI shows up everywhere in career messaging, job listings, recruiter conversations, LinkedIn prompts, and platform features that encourage people to badge themselves as AI capable. At the same time, the reality of most entry-level cybersecurity roles hasn't changed as fast as the messaging. Early career security work still focuses on fundamentals, understanding logs, following incidents, documenting findings, and learning how environments behave, as well as building judgment over time. The disconnect happens when people are told AI is essential, but aren't shown how AI skills map to the work they're actually being hired to do. Without that map, people default to chasing buzzwords or feeling behind before they've even started. For experienced professionals, skill expectations are changing, but not in a simplistic way job descriptions suggest. Dice's coverage of advanced skills highlights that AI, automation, and data fluency matter more in 2026 because they change how security work flows through organizations. That doesn't mean most roles require model building or deep ML expertise. What teams actually value is fluency, understanding how automated systems make decisions, knowing where they fail, and being able to explain risk when tools behave unexpectedly. This kind of skill sits between technology and operations. It's not flashy, but it's critical. The problem is that hiring language often collapses this into vague requirements. People are told to learn AI without clarity on which capabilities matter in practice. That makes skill development inefficient and frustrating. Value is increasingly measured by judgment, integration awareness, and the ability to manage complexity, not by keyword accumulation. Workforce trends analysis shows another pattern clearly. Roles have expanded faster than they've been redesigned. Security professionals now manage more tools, more integrations, more stakeholders, and more reporting expectations than they did even a few years ago. Cloud environments, identity systems, compliance demands, and AI-driven tooling have all increased scope. Training often remains informal. Career paths remain loosely defined. Titles stay the same while responsibilities multiply. Success becomes harder to measure because the work spans too many domains. This leads capable people to feel stretched, not because they lack skill, but because the role itself has become diffuse. Over time, that creates fatigue and uncertainty, even in teams that are performing well. Practitioner conversations put emotional context around these shifts. Job postings that feel disconnected from reality. Interview processes that test trivia instead of capability. Constant reskilling without visible payoff. This frustration isn't about willingness to learn or adapt. It's about uncertainty in how progress is measured and rewarded. When effort doesn't consistently translate into stability, advancement, or opportunity, people lose confidence in the system, not in themselves, but in the path forward. Hiring signals continue to evolve. Resumes matter less on their own. Evidence of skill, such as projects, labs, and real-world demonstrations, carry much more weight. Platforms increasingly reward visible proof, including public portfolios and AI proficiency indicators. This benefits people who have time, access, and support to showcase their work. It also raises the importance of visibility alongside capability. When proof becomes the currency of opportunity, access to environments and learning resources becomes much more consequential. That shapes who advances and who struggles, even among capable professionals. Finally, workload sustainability deserves direct attention. TechRadar's reporting shows a significant portion of IT and security professionals considering leaving their roles. The drivers are familiar: rising threat volume, expanding responsibility, and continuous pressure to move faster. AI has not reduced that pressure yet. In many cases, it introduces new systems to monitor and manage, adding complexity before relief materializes. When complexity increases faster than capacity, people absorb the difference. Over time, it leads to exhaustion and attrition. Sustainable security requires sustainable work. So, cybersecurity professionals are working hard. The challenge is that the system is more selective, more complex, and less predictable than it used to be. AI, automation, and market shifts have changed how the value is measured and how opportunity appears. Progress depends on aligning role design, expectations, and growth paths with how security work actually happens, not how it's marketed. That's today's Cyber Pulse. If the cybersecurity workforce feels under pressure, then experience reflects real structural changes. Understanding those changes is the first step towards navigating them. I share more context like this in this newsletter, focused on how cybersecurity work is evolving. You can subscribe at bootstrapcyber.com. Now, it's time to get back to business. Keep hacking your success.